The internals division of LSCS is, well, an integral part of LSCS. They are its building blocks, a collection of diverse avenues in which LSCS provides opportunities for growth for each member. These diverse avenues manifest through the division's four committees, starting with Human Resource Development. What sets LSCS apart from other organizations is the sense of belonging, the community it fosters between members. And HRD, or Human Resource Development, is the prime committee responsible for that aspect. Through recreational and organizational development activities such as the annual recruitment week, the termly general assemblies, sports tournaments, and even the interactive group chats, HRD fosters relationships between the org's members and even with people outside of the org itself, to ensure that everyone excels not just in academics but in their social life as well. No matter what role you have in LSCS, you can count on HRD for exciting events or personal pick-me-ups. And to further illustrate how HRD is important to LSCS as a whole, here is an in-depth look into the committee from none other than its vice president.
Hello, I'm Carl LSCS, VP or Vice President of Human Resource Development.
Hello, I'm Yuan Paman, and I'm his co-VP of HRD.
Why is one event that exemplifies the effectiveness of HRD as a whole, and why?
Pag HRD, GA talaga. Kasi yun yung nilook forward ng mga members. Kasi yung GA is where we can mingle with each other, where we can talk and like bond with each other. Tapos parang meron pang after GA din. Like after GA, you'll go out with yung mga na-meet mo na members sa org. Parang dun nabubuo yung band eh. Kaya feeling ko, yun yung parang...
Para mas maging effective.
Yeah.
HRDS.
Thanks, Carl.
So, ayun din to parang GA helps us to form a community within the organization. And parang siya yung nag-unite all members and feel everyone they are welcome to organization and included. Parang as HRD, parang doon talaga nag-exemplify yung effectiveness sa ginagawa ng HRD.
With HRD being in such a pivotal position for LSCS's culture and morale as a whole, how exactly do you shape the culture and experience of members within LSCS?
Feeling ko, HRD or the one who's like responsible with member engagement and like making that, like connecting them to each other. Lalo na sa mga events namin, like syempre una dyan is yung GA and like other Docs Camp ganon or parang kami yung nag-shape sa LSCS na maging buo and maging parang united yung org.
So in addition to that, we also ensure na parang they are all welcome to our organization. We ensure na they are valued, na
Each of them, like hindi lang sila basta nagbayad lang ng membership fee. Like
we want them to experience the best for the organization.
For many students, computer studies is often difficult and strenuous. And that is precisely what the Academics Committee aims to alleviate. As the name suggests, they are the committee responsible for organizing various academic activities such as workshops, contests, and infographics in order to lend students a helping hand in the path towards success or survival. The ACADS Committee is a living reminder for not just the org's members, but students everywhere not to lose their passion about learning, and that there will always be a helping hand that can be taken at every difficulty faced. Now, for an additional learning opportunity, here's an inside look into how ACADS conducts and manages their events.
What is the process for organizing and coming up with ACADS events?
So,
Have you had any challenges along the way?
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges, specifically yung process. So first is coming up with ACADS events. It's really basic. We have a database of all our previous events, and then basically we just choose per term. And like minamatch lang namin, oh, students are taking this subject a lot this term. Ganon. Kunwari they're taking Java or like CC Prog 3, then we try to provide a Java workshop. Ganon lang. So basically just try to align what we provide with what the students are taking. Yeah, so organizing is really straightforward kasi ayun nga, since we already have a database of past events, it's basically just copy pasting, and if we want to be creative, then it's better kasi we're starting already with a template. So if we just want to add or remove stuff, it's just add and remove. We're not really coming up from scratch na. So yeah, that's like the technical aspect of how ACADS works basically. So and then yung challenges naman. So for the challenges, there's a lot. Kasi usually the events, we really plan them like during the times na like near midterms or like during basta kung kailan marami ring ginagawa yung AVP. So that's the main challenge. It's really just managing your time and making sure that yeah, like while you're busy, like even if mabibusy kayo during the event, you have to be prepared enough like before pa, or just be like resilient enough to like be busy or like busier during your midterms week or finals week kasi dun madalas may event.
How do you encourage students to participate in these events?
Actually, there's like two. Yung first one is yung 4th hour incentives. That's obvious kasi pag may 4th hour, like literally nagdo-double or triple yung attendance. And then there's also like coordinating with faculty. Sometimes they don't incentivize but they promote, and that's also like a big boost. Not as big as like during, or like not as big as if it's incentivized talaga, pero sometimes it gives it enough like push to have enough participants. And yeah, honestly I think na it's kahit na may incentives yan and kahit na may promotion yan from the faculty, I think what really helps is the students' genuine interest to learn. Kasi if they're not really interested in learning, kahit na may 4th hour yan, hindi naman sila pupunta. So yeah, for me it's their genuine interest talaga. So like even if we have events na walang 4th hour, walang promotion, and then yung participants aren't that many, you really see na the students are like really want to learn. So like they really ask questions and they like participate sa activities, and I think that's what's better than like 4th hour or like yung promotions from the faculty.
Behind every successful student organization is a strong foundation of growth and discovery. And LSCS would not be where it is today without the training and development committee's hard work in molding the next generation of officers for the organization. Of course, the committee knows a thing or two about the makings of an officer, and they use their experience as well in constructing a development plan for those who have the potential to be the next officers of the organization with the use of training, workshops, and a subsequent performance evaluation. LSCS as a whole would not be prosperous and relevant as it is today without TND's dedication in bringing forth a brand new batch of well-prepared and trained officers to run the organization. And now here's an inside look at how TND operates in fostering the next generation of LSCS officers.
What part does TND play in nurturing the growth of LSCS officers?
So, junior officers, basically as what we call it, are those who aspire to be the next future officers for the next batch of LSCS. And they are also the ones who are still looking for growth within themselves. So, LSCS TND, or Training and Development, is the first committee of which they experience, and it is basically their first impression of LSCS as a whole. So, TND sets the tone for basically their experiences on what LSCS is like. And of course, since we are the first committee, we are also the first mentors as they are still growing within LSCS.
Yeah, like what Jeka said, D&D is like the first impression that the new junior officers get to us. So we set the tone on how the other officers, or like how the other officers at LSCS work, and it also gives them an idea of what to expect rin, in terms of the workload, the environment, and stuff like that. Yeah.
What were TND's most impactful training initiatives this year?
So there's been a lot of changes in TND. During the past years kasi we just followed what the past TND batch has done. There's still the junior officer training programs, but we change it up a bit to add like new experiences, new events for the junior officers. So it's more collaborative and more exciting for them to engage with one another. One of the ones that we've implemented is the mentor-mentee program, where each officer in LSCS gets to mentor a junior officer. It's not limited to only like one-to-one. It could also be one-to-many, depending on the officer's choice on their if their tasks are heavy or not. And during that time, they get to also plan an event themselves. So they get a hands-on experience on what their committee does, how should they do the workload, and if this is what they want to do when they continue to apply as officers for the next batch of LSCS.
So for me, yeah, I agree with Gaby here that there are a lot of changes in TND, and I feel very proud also for TND. So personally, for me, I think there are two major changes or major initiatives that TND did. So the first one is the JOGA one, which is our very first General Assembly with the officers, and we get to meet each and every one of them. Fortunately, there are more than 100 who attended, and of course, we did the icebreakers. We did icebreakers that are very engaging, and it's their way of saying hi to their fellow junior officers. And honestly, although it's just a general assembly, just like any other assemblies, I think we did a bit of a twist for this joga, and they basically had more engagement. They get to know more about the different junior officers and more. So for the next is, of course, the Joga 2. So it's still General Assembly, but with a bit of a twist. So Joga 2 is a committee fair. This is where committees basically promote and boast their initiatives to their junior officers who are still curious about the different plans and the different committees that they do, so that probably they could have a potential in that committee. They want to do more creatives, more research and development, more academic stuff. So that's where we were proud of mostly.
Yeah.
What do we usually think of when we hear the words computer studies? Our probable first thoughts are coding, or making apps, or even making devices that catch our curiosity. And with the ever-increasing interest in computer studies, students always try to seek ways to explore that field beyond what's merely required. Knowing this, the Research and Development Committee of LSCS revolves around that very idea. The R&D Committee focuses on providing technical services and developing projects, such as software development or website creation, that support and surround the organization's internal infrastructure, and that support also extends to external projects as well. Among the many committees within LSCS, they stand out as the ones who truly embody and reflect the essence of computer studies, continuously making an impact both internally and externally. And so, to further illustrate how R&D emphasizes the C in LSCS, here's an extended look into R&D's accomplishments and work processes.
For you, what are the accomplishments or projects or outputs of your team that you're most proud of this year?
I guess the biggest project this year that we did was LEAP 2025, the Second Enrichment Alternative Program. Kasi not only is it our first parang external project, it's the first successful external project in 2 years, but it's also one that the scope is the entire university. So we're pretty proud of it despite the criticism kasi we've put a lot of thought into it. And then we're also expecting a lot of users at the same time. And then knowing how yun, the LSU's infrastructure is also concerning if there's too much users at the same time. But yung MLS, yung Anonymous is nag-queue and then like it takes time and then like yun, nirereklamo ng lahat. Like we all Lasalians know that. So considering that our team, they made sure na never mangyayari yun with me. So despite the high volume of people going in every day sa website, despite the high volume of people na nagre-register sa website using the website, we were able to handle it all. And then never nag-crash yung website, and we've ensured about 99.99% uptime for the website. Kaya, can you describe the work process on your team and how do you think this impacts your work? So yeah, in research and development, we work very uniquely versus other communities. Kasi we try to mimic our real software corporate development team. Like how real companies would do software development, we try to copy that. Kasi, ayun, the way my philosophy in R&D is that you come into LSCS R&D to prepare yourself for what comes next. And what comes next is actually yung being in an actual software development team or working in the industry. So, as someone who already worked in the industry before, I have the knowledge to pass that down, and then I use that knowledge to make the committee work as it is now. So, at the moment, R&D works in a very mentorship manner. So, a lot of our some of our members did not know anything yet, or like knew less than me, or like knew little before going into R&D, but now they want to be future leaders for LSCS. So the way it works is yun. I guess starting this term, I was the one who knew how to lead the committee or like knew what to do. Pero it could parang other committees would easily like take over the work kasi you know better. Ganun. Pero I didn't do that. Parang I let my members make mistakes. I allow them to make mistakes so that they can realize for future projects na it's easier to realize when you make mistakes, it becomes experience. And then, the best thing in the tech industry to have is experience. So, I made R&D a safe place to make mistakes so that you can build yourself to be a better engineer when the time comes. Kaya yun, with that system in place, since term 1 going to term 2, going to term 3 right now, we are a committee that wants to do it again for another year. Tapos most of our members in R&D wants to do it again next year and then wants to be future leaders then for LSCS next year. Kaya, so, yun, parang for me, what I realized through the way that we work in R&D is that leadership is not just merely organizing. Leadership is not just merely knowing how to give out or how to delegate tasks. But leadership is building future leaders as well. Leadership is inspiring future leaders, mentoring them to be the one who takes over after.
If every member of internals were to share exactly one thing in common, it would be the passion they exude in their work. Passion is seen in every event, activity, and initiative that internals creates and executes. And this passion, in addition to supplying the continued excellence of LSCS as a whole, is what gives the organization itself meaning. After all, internals is rooted in the core mission of LSCS, to best support its members in all-around holistic development.